I appreciate it, man. Does everything
All
look
right.
okay? Everything sound good on my end?
Yeah, you sound crystal clear. Your room looks nice. Everything looks flashy. I love it.
Yeah. Good, good. Trying to.
All right, buddy. Let's do this.
All right, man. Let's run it. Thank you again for having me on, man.
My pleasure. Hey, what's up, guys? I am Mr. Saturn, and I have a very, very special guest, a buddy of mine, Crazy Kev.
What's going on, guys? Hey, Mr. Saturn, thank you so much for coming on. You're the man. And for everyone that's watching this video, if you haven't already subscribed to Mr. Saturn, make sure you guys definitely do because he is the man and he's definitely next up.
Thank you, Kev. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, thank you so much for joining me today on a holiday out of all days. Yeah, let's jump right back. Let's jump into it. Um, you do martial arts. I've seen your videos. I like that one where you were working with that. What is that called? Looked
It's
like
called
that.
the bow.
Yeah, and then you got it stuck up on the roof or on the ceiling. How did you get into working with weapons?
Basically with martial arts, what we do is just kind of, I guess, throughout our classes, I just kind of would do like what our instructor says. I mean, like kind of as you would kind of move up in the ranks with certain belts and with age and everything, then you would kind of start getting introduced with weapons when it comes to like the bow, the nunchucks, kamas, swords. I mean, I've kind of done it all at this point when it comes to those different style weapons. But the video you're referring to, that bow, which is that really long stick, that's definitely my hands down my favorite weapon. And definitely what I would use a lot when it comes to competitions as well too.
It looks smooth when you're maneuvering it, bro. It looks smooth.
100%. No, I'll definitely try to. Like I said, it's my favorite thing, and it's definitely a lot of fun. I definitely enjoy weapons the most, I would say, when it comes to martial arts.
And you also do Taekwondo, I believe.
Yes, sir. You got that correct.
Talk to me about that. How did you even get into this in the first place?
That's a good question. Basically, when I was around 5 years old, I would always just be watching TV, and then the commercials would come on for Tiger Schulman martial arts, and basically it would just be a bunch of guys just doing a bunch of techniques, and all the time I would just get up off the couch and I'd start mimicking all their moves. I try to do everything like them, and then at the end of the video or the commercial, I should say, they would always be like 1-800 the Tiger. I'd always get like a notepad. I'd write it down, be like, "Mom, this is it. Call him. I want to do it." But there was never any Tiger Schulmans around me. So unfortunately, actually to this day, I've actually never been inside a Tiger Schulman martial arts school. It's still like one of my goals. I mean, there's plenty of them around the world, but long story short, we started searching around for other martial arts schools, and there was one school that was kind of close to us, and they were doing a event where basically it was called like, I guess like a family fun day kind of deal, where there was a bunch of people that kind of went around. They did like a demonstration, and then at the end of the demonstration, they walked over to me and they gave me a free class card. And after they gave me that free class card, I think that next week I came in, met my martial arts instructor, and then 19 years later, I'm still with the same guy. He met me when I was 5 years old, and we've kind of grown together, I guess. And that's kind of how my journey has began in martial arts.
And I believe you also teach as well.
Yes, sir. Yep. I've been teaching for 6 years now. That same instructor I was referring to, he kind of got me into teaching a little bit when I was around, I would say like maybe 17, 18-ish. And yeah, I've been loving it ever since. It's been a lot of fun. And at the moment right now, I teach at a school full time. We just hit about 170 students, which is pretty insane. I mean, when I
Nice.
first started doing the interviews back in February, we were about at the 150 mark. And now it's September and we've kind of grown up to 170. So our goal is obviously to get to that 200 mark, and it's a lot of work, but I definitely can't complain. It's something I love, and yeah, I definitely enjoy it.
Tell me about how it makes you feel when you share your knowledge with other people. Especially, I believe you have also youngsters, right? That you teach.
Absolutely. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's pretty crazy, man. I mean, I teach about 5 classes a day. I'm teaching for about five and a
Nice.
half hours straight. So like I don't have any breaks. I'm just kind of going class, class, class. With the youngsters, I'm teaching guys as young as 3 years old, and I have some guys in my adult class that are as old as 73 years old. So it's insane, man. Like the kind of have how you have to balance it all. But I would actually say, I guess the biggest thing, it actually kind of pushed my YouTube channel a little bit more was the kids, man, they're freaking their belts. It would always come off every single class, and it would always annoy me. I'm like, that's it. I'm putting a video up on how to tie your belt, and then that's gonna be it. And it got a lot of views, and I was like, where are these people even finding this? Like, who's watching this? I thought my
Yeah.
students were only gonna see it, and then like the next couple of days, I started putting up some videos of me training, and then my students were just like, man, this is so cool. Like, you should post more of this stuff. So I just kind of kept doing it and doing it. And then I was like, hey, maybe I should try some MMA stuff as well too. And that's kind of how my YouTube channel kind of grown. But when it comes to the students, man, it's always a blessing to kind of come in and see how excited the students get, kind of watching them kind of grow from the ground up. It's really, really cool. And like I said, I mean, it's always a lot of fun. I mean, you have to deal with all sorts of different personalities as well too.
Yeah.
So it's a grind, but like I said, man, nothing's cooler than seeing somebody do something and they're not very good at it in the beginning, and then watching their progress just get better and better every single class. I mean, that's what it's all about when it comes to just martial arts in general.
Man, that sounds great, Kev. I can only imagine what it feels like just by you describing it and everything. So I think that's pretty cool, man. Kudos. I'm gonna add a little clapping track for that one, okay? But
That sounds
um,
good.
tell what does life look like for you when you're not doing any kind of martial arts?
Man, it's a good question. I just try my best to just kind of do my thing. I love to hang out with family. Honestly, I mean, that's my big thing. I mean, I love hanging out with my parents, my dog. I mean, when it just comes to life outside martial arts, I mean, I'm obviously trying to watch as much UFC when I can when it's on the weekends. You got me playing video games as well too, music. I mean, nothing too crazy. I mean, I'm kind of a homebody, honestly. I mean,
Okay.
but family first, honestly. I mean, whatever my family wants to do, I usually try my best to hang out with them as much as I can, because like I mentioned, I'm always teaching at the martial arts school. So it's like my weekends are kind of like my only time I really get to see my family, especially my dad, because my dad's on like opposite schedules. Like, for example,
Yeah.
like he'll be done work at like 3 o'clock and then I'm already at work. So like, I don't even really get to see him until the weekends, which kind of blows. So I try to take my weekends to kind of spend as much time with them as I can.
Do you guys watch UFC as a family? You and your dad, maybe, or?
Yeah, yeah, man. I mean, they actually kind of got me into it with the Ultimate Fighter big time. Can't remember the exact season, but I mean, like we would always kind of watch it together. Even to this day, like even like Ultimate Fighter 32, we always sit down every week, we watch the card together. I mean, I won't watch the Ultimate Fighter without my family. Honestly, that's just all it comes down to. And then, yeah, like I said, my parents definitely enjoy that the most. And now I'm trying to get them into the Contender series as well too. So we're gonna try and make that our new thing while I'm home with my shoulder surgery, because usually I can't
Yeah.
watch it because I'm teaching. But now that I'm home, I'm like, all right, guys, this is our one time we can watch it. Let's watch Contender
Yeah.
Series
Let's take
together.
advantage. Yeah. So yeah, you have your own YouTube channel. You do interviews with MMA fighters. I thought that was the coolest thing ever. Once we made that initial connection, I started going through your library, and I was like, okay, this guy Kev, I like him. It's my guy. It's my kind of guy. Um, could you remember your very first interview that you had? How did you go about getting it, or just explain that process if you can remember?
Oh, 100%, man. I can definitely remember. It's a funny moment. It's something I probably won't forget. Man, it just comes down to I was just on. I don't even know. I just kind of woke up one day and was like, how can I get a fighter to kind of like talk to me? How can I be a part of the MMA community? And I was like, well, maybe interviews. Everybody has a podcast nowadays, so maybe I can interview a fighter. So I was thinking in my mind, who's the most active people on social media when it comes to fighters?
Yeah.
And it was Matt Frivola and Terrence McKinney were the first two guys that came to mind. So I messaged Terrence McKinney first, and he might have got back to me in like maybe an hour or two. It was really quick. And
Nice.
he was just
Nice.
like, hey, let's do it today. And I'm like, whoa, whoa, hold on. I can't do it today. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I was just throwing it out there. I didn't even expect you to answer. So I was like, give me a couple days. We'll get it figured out. And yeah, like I said, once I kind of locked it in with him, I was just immediately like on YouTube, like watching every interview I possibly could at Terrence
Mhm.
McKinney, studying every little thing I possibly could. I had like 3 or 4 pages of notes prepared for only a 15-minute interview with Terrence McKinney. I had his Tapology page like on the side as well too. So, like, I was like super, super prepared with like everything to make sure it would go smooth. And yeah, man, it was insane. And the funny thing is with that interview too, I used to have a buddy that did it with me. His name was Steve. And unfortunately, he got a full-time job. So he kind of had to bounce from the podcast. But that was fun to do it with him. But with that, we had a cameraman at the time. And this cameraman, he's never done like any sort of interviews or anything like that. And we never actually hung out together, me and the cameraman. We were just kind of buddies from UFC. So when I came over to his house, he was like, I mean, he wasn't fully like prepared because he didn't really know what to kind of expect. This microphone I'm wearing, like, didn't put it on me until like literally 5 minutes before the show. Like, we didn't even know how to wear it. Like, it was a mess. And I was like stressing out because he wasn't really prepared. I wasn't really prepared in the sense of like, how do I go about going on camera? But once we kind of get into it, we started talking and it was over. It was like, man, that actually wasn't too bad. I think we can kind of do this again. And then
Mhm.
sure enough, then the next week I just started hammering away, messaging as many people as I could, and then just kind of been growing and doing it ever since.
Yeah, it's similar. One day I was just like, hey, I think I just gonna send a message, and they replied. They replied,
Yeah.
and I was kind of stuck for a minute because I was like, I'm not even ready, and that's when I started just purchasing just massive amounts of equipment. Not that much equipment. I mean, to me, this camera alone is like half my leg already gone.
I
So
hear you
I
there.
get I get it. Um, what are your top three MMA fighters?
My top three MMA fighters. Oh man, that's a good question. What do you mean? Like my favorites, you would say?
Yeah, your favorites. And let's stick to
Oh
you
man.
just UFC maybe because
Perfect. Nope,
yeah.
that sounds good. I would say my number one guy, he's been my guy for a long time, is definitely Michael Page. Just from
Mm,
that Taekwondo style, I love that. I think his personality is kind of pretty cool too. All the different stuff he does. I would say him. Charles Oliveira has been my guy for a little bit. I love Charles Oliveira. Then, of course, too, it's going to sound pretty corny, but I have to go with Wonder Boy as well, too. I love Wonder Boy. Like I said,
okay.
obviously,
He's
all the
cool.
Taekwondo guys that are striking good, I love those guys. And maybe even a little bonus in Yair Rodriguez. He's super
There
fun
you
to
go.
watch, too.
Yeah, he's cool.
So, yeah.
First MMA event?
Oh man, first MMA event was UFC Philadelphia in 2019. Justin Gaethje versus Barbosa was on the card, and if you look back at that card, man, there's a lot of like good fights on it. Like Kevin Holland was on it. I mean, I think David Branch and Jack Hermanson. I could be lying about that one, but
Yeah.
there was a lot of solid fights on there. Where if you look back on it, it's like, man, like that was only a fight night. That was a pretty good card.
Yeah. It's a blessing when we get fight nights that just look like a pay-per-view.
Yeah, yeah,
Love it.
100%. Especially that one aged like fine wine, 100%.
Yeah. Um, how about your top three favorite songs? Let's get a little more
Oh
personal here,
man.
buddy. Yeah, let's go.
Man, you're putting me on the spot with this one. My favorite songs. Well, I'll tell you this one. I've been like kind of stuck with music because I've been listening to like rap a ton. You know what I mean? And I feel like it's been kind of hasn't been the best. I would love like guys like kind of like Travis Scott. Travis Scott's usually like my favorite rapper. Some of my favorite songs with him, I'd probably say was "Coordinate." I love that song. That's probably one of my favorite ones to kind of go to. When it goes to like rock songs, man, or like just like anything in general. I mean. I'd say Coordinate's a good one. I love listening to who else? Moneybag Yo. Moneybag Yo is a good one. He's got a couple good songs with Quavo. I can't think of it off the top of my. Maybe it's Black. I can't think of it off the top of my head, but they have a collab together. That's one of my favorites. Now I'd say my last one to probably go with would definitely be I'd say the Migos with what is it? Bad and Bougie. I love that song. So definitely some hype songs, of course, but those are some of my favorites to kind of jam out to when I can.
Okay, okay, nice, nice. What about your three top favorite dishes? Maybe something that mom makes or something, or your girlfriend, or what's up? What do you like to eat?
Oh man, oh man. So I'm a horrible eater, man. So like I don't really eat anything. I don't really eat anything, dude. Like you could ask me a ton of different foods. I probably never had it, honestly. I'm gonna be real basic with this one. Probably like real basic guy. I love pizza, obviously. That's my
Okay,
go-to. I would definitely love that all the time. Having it tonight, I'm a big taco guy as well too.
okay.
And steak. Steak's definitely up there as well too. So those are probably my top three.
How do you like your steak done?
Oh, well done.
Okay, well done. Um, beer or hard alcohol? Hard liquor.
I'll go with beer.
Okay, what's your go-to?
Man, that's a good one. I'm not a huge drinker, honestly, just because I always feel like it messes me up. Like next day, I'm like, man, I can't believe I just drank all that. You know what I mean? But man, when I say beers, it'd probably be like I'd say Miller Lite is my go-to. You know what I mean? Miller Lite, Bud Lights. But those are probably some of my top twos.
Okay, all right, all right. Are you seeing anybody at the moment? I'm pretty sure some of the ladies who check out your videos might be wondering.
Oh man, no, no. I try my best to stay away from it, man. You know what I mean? Whenever I have ladies in my life, I feel like it kind of brings me down. You know what I mean? Because I want to do everything I can for them, and then it's like something's going wrong, it gets in my head. So I'm like, man, I just gotta focus on myself. You know what I mean? So I just try to stay out of it as much as I can. But that's that's a funny
Beautiful.
question.
Beautiful, dude. Because there's a lot of us guys, and all you guys listening. Uh, Sometimes we got to stay away, focus on ourselves, don't get distracted. Women weaken the knees, like they say in Rocky.
There you go.
Uh,
Exactly.
so you're good. You're good. Master over here, teacher. Um, Other than martial combat sports, are you into any other sports?
When it comes to watching it, of course, I mean, I'm big into football. A huge Eagles fan. You might be able to see some of the stuff behind me. I love the Eagles. They're definitely my go-to. Watch a little bit of the Phillies as well too. Flyers as well. I'm a big Philadelphia fan, so I'll watch it when it's on. But definitely outside of MMA, football is definitely my go-to for top sports.
Football. Okay, okay. Football. I'm just purely combat sports.
Okay.
My wife was a Niner fan, and she was a
Ah,
diehard Niner fan. So I guess I was a Niner fan by association.
your wife might not have liked me then because, like I said, with the Eagles and Niners, we had that big rivalry. So,
Yes, yes. No, she would have been like, "Oh, who you chatting with? That Eagle fan?" So she would have
yeah,
been
yeah,
like that.
exactly.
Um, do you have any cool talents that we don't know about other than doing interviews?
Cool talents, man. I don't know, man. It's hard to say because it's like with martial arts, I feel like some of the stuff that I can do with it is pretty neat. You know what I mean? But I
Oh
don't know
yeah,
if it's like a
definitely.
hidden talent. It's more of just like, it kind of came along with the journey. Like I feel like being able to like spin the nunchucks really cool and do a lot of cool tricks with it is pretty neat. Like same with the bow. But like outside of martial arts, man, like I don't think I can do anything too creative that I can think of off the top of my head that's worth bragging about. You know what I mean?
Gotcha. I don't know. You kind of look like you might be a yo-yo master or something.
Never
I don't
tried it. Never tried.
know. What's the furthest place you've traveled, whether by vehicle or airplane?
Furthest place I probably traveled was probably to Turks and Caicos. I went there in middle school, and hands down the most beautiful place I've ever went to. Anybody that would love to go on vacations if they had the money, I would definitely say go to that place. It was most beautiful place, amazing food, amazing everything. If I could go back there tomorrow, I definitely would.
Was it a school trip?
No, no, this is a vacation with my family. Basically,
Gotcha.
we went like kind of. I think we went twice, but I haven't been back there since middle school. It just price has been so expensive and everything with it. But hands down, if I had the money for it, I would definitely go tomorrow if I could.
What is your funnest family memory?
Uh, man, you put me on the spot with these questions, man. Good questions.
Got to get to know you, buddy. Got to get to know you.
No, that's good, man. I love it. Favorite memories, man. I would just say honestly, it's just going out with them and just kind of doing stuff. Like, you know what I mean? Like going out to eat with them or like going out to like the park with my dog is really cool. I would say a cool memory as well too. I don't know if it's the coolest, but definitely up there was last year on my birthday. We went to the beach with me, my dog, and my mom and dad, and that was really a lot of fun because we never brought any of our dogs down to the beach before. So it was cool to kind of do something different, go to the beach because with the beach too, I usually would go every year. But then when COVID hit, me and my family just kind of haven't been going as much. And then we just kind of eventually broke out of the shell and went down the beach. And then my dog went. It was on my birthday. So I thought that was a really cool birthday, really cool experience. So I'd probably say that's definitely up there for one of my favorite family experiences, no doubt.
Every element was there for you to have a good time.
Exactly.
Your family, your pet. It was okay. All right. Good to know. How many siblings do you have?
None.
Only child.
Only child.
Oh, okay. You got that only child energy, and it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing.
I hear that a lot from people. Yep. Yep. I am an only child.
um, what do you have lined up in the future? What interviews do you have coming up, if you don't mind sharing, or unless
No
there's
worries, no worries. Yeah, man. I would say honestly, I've been trying to slow down a little bit with interviews just because I've been doing so many. Like I mentioned, like I started in February, and I think I just uploaded like my 187th
yeah, yeah,
episode,
yeah.
which is
Yeah.
like nutty. So then, like, it's like I want to get these shorts out. I want to do other stuff. So I've been kind of slowing down. But I would say this week coming up, I have the Combat FC president. He's going to be on tomorrow. Gerald Marshart is also going to be back on the show tomorrow as well. And then on Friday, this was a random one I wasn't expecting to get back to me. Is he's a YouTuber. His name is Marshall Mind.
Mhm.
He actually is going to come on the show on Friday. So I think those are my next ones that I have lined up at the moment. I just did Kevin Lee the other day, which was a lot of fun. Myron Santos was a lot of fun. I just did on yesterday, but like I said, trying to slow down a little bit, but it's hard, man. It's like every time I like don't have an interview, I'm like, man, I need an interview. Like I need to get something content, but at the same time, it's like I need to do shorts. Like there's so much more, so it's always in my head. But those are probably my next three. I think I have coming up at the moment.
Okay, okay. Is there you want to throw some shout outs out there, bud?
Some shout outs. Oh man, I
Yeah.
definitely could. shout outs, honestly, it would just be to anybody that's really just been following me, honestly. I mean, like, there's a lot of people from like day one that I definitely appreciate and respect. Like somebody like you, man, has been like always been there for me. I definitely appreciate you and always doing that, man. I would definitely say like some of the girls that I've been with, like Base Gotti, she was somebody I hit up right away once my co-host left, and we've kind of been talking since like March. I love her channel and her content. I really hope she posts more stuff because I really think she has a lot of potential and can blow up. I love funny name, Lover of Daggies. She's really awesome on Twitter. Really, really cool woman. Definitely love talking to her. Petty around the corner. She's someone that does power slap interviews and stuff. I just found out about her recently. She's been really cool to talk to. So I think those are some upcoming ladies that are gonna be kind of blowing up, or some people to keep an eye on. And when it comes to guys, man, I would say a couple other guys would be like Burt MMA. He has a really awesome news page all the time. He's always dropping cool stuff, and he's always on top of everything. So I definitely respect him. And just like I said, anybody that really follows me and just is willing to give me the time of day. Oh, one more, definitely Jake Noker as well too. He's an awesome interviewer. He's always had my back since day one, no matter what I've done, no matter how stupid it's been. He's always answered every question. He's always had my back, no matter how much hot water I'm in, how much whatever I'm asking him, he loves it, and he's always had my back. And he's an awesome interviewer, media guy. He's been doing a lot of great stuff, and I can't say enough good things about him, honestly. And if you haven't seen any of his interviews, like you, Mr. Saturn, or just anybody watching, highly recommend going to his page because he's just an all-around solid dude, in my opinion.
Will do. All right. This is the last one, bro, but I want to make it good.
Okay.
Tell your parents something right now. Tell them something nice. Give them a message. I don't know, whatever you can feel right here in the heart. What do you want to
I
tell
love
your
it.
parents right now?
No, that's a good one, man. Well, I would just say, when it just comes to, me in general, my goal is to just try and, be successful with everything I'm doing. You know what I mean? Whether it's martial arts, content, or just anything I'm really doing. You know what I mean? There are people that have always had my back, obviously, and those are, the people I care about the most. You know what I mean? So my big goal, obviously, is to just kind of work as hard as I can to eventually kind of maybe have some more free time to just kind of hang out with them and just, you just make everything awesome. You know what I mean? They've had my back since day one, and anything I can do to kind of give back to them would just be amazing. You know what I mean? That's just kind of my big message to them is, keep trusting the YouTube channel, keep trusting my martial arts journey. I think I have a lot of big things in store if I keep working hard and keep doing the right things. And that's my big goal. You know what I mean? Hopefully you can see me, be a little bit more successful with content or martial arts, and then I can get a little bit more free time so then we can hang out even more. That's my big thing, or my big message to them.
All right, that's beautiful. Thank you so much for that. I just wanna say, uh, karate combat. You need to keep an eye on my boy right here. Um, yeah. Thank you so much. I am Mr. Saturn, and this is Crazy Kev. Thank you for tuning in.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
Oh man, we still on the live, right?
We're still on the we're
Good.
still recording. Go for it, brother.
Good. I just wanted to say one last thing. This is super important. Well, actually, two things since you mentioned karate combat. So with karate combat, they did reach out. They wanted me to actually fight in October, actually, but I did have to turn it down, unfortunately, because I just got shoulder surgery in July. It was really, really bad. I'm not cleared to work, obviously, like I mentioned earlier. So like hard for me to really do anything. So I have to kind of play it by ear with that kind of deal. I already have an opponent as well too, UFC Alien. I've been calling him out for a while. Me and him, he has a fight coming up October 11th. So they gave him, I guess, somebody else since I turned it down. So we'll get to see his face finally. We'll get to see his skills, and I'll probably face the winner of that matchup. Hopefully, maybe this time next year if my shoulder's okay. That's my big thing there. And biggest thing as well too, I would just say as well too, for anybody watching and it's new to your channel or just in general, this guy, Mr. Saturn, man, he did a interview with me with Rendon for the UFC, and we literally met like a couple minutes before the interview. Didn't give him any prep questions, nothing. Just like, all right, man, we're gonna do this interview, and he translated it so smooth. Everything was fantastic, and just all in all, like I said, I can't say enough good things about him because I say it all the time. Like, man, that interview could have been horrible, but it was so smooth. It was so good, and that was all my fault if it would have been horrible. But long story short, just like you know what I mean, I loved it, and I've been trying so hard to get another Spanish speaking fighter on there so we can do another collab, but like I said, man, you've always had my back, and just you're just an all around good guy, and I definitely appreciate all the good vibes you bring, and I'm really really looking forward to your channel, and I'm really glad that you've been doing interviews because, like I said, that interview could have been really really bad, but how smooth you made it in your very first time was just really impressive to me. So keep up the good work, and I really am looking forward to watching you grow, man.
Thanks, Kev. I appreciate it. It was a really cool experience. So I appreciate you opening the door for me. That was great. Thank
Good.
you, Kev.
Yeah, no worries at all, man. Like I said, hopefully we can get another Spanish speaker on
Yeah,
soon, and it'll be a lot of fun like the last time.
definitely,
I'll get
definitely.
you
All
more
right.
prepared though. Don't worry. I'll give you questions and stuff this time. I promise.
I'm gonna be all right. If even if you don't have the questions, I think I'm gonna be all right. I need to not I need to focus on the actual questions and not listen like I'm a spectator. Because some of those questions I was just listening and tuning into your interactions with her, and I kept forgetting. I was like, oh wait, I'm supposed to be translating, and I would just kind of lose it a little bit. But
No,
uh,
like I say, it's all good. Like I say, you did fantastic. I can't say enough good things about you and that interview. I really, really enjoyed it. That's one of my favorite ones to just sit back and watch because I think that was really cool. Just not even for us. I think Randone really appreciated that as well
mhm,
too. Like she seemed super appreciative. Like after the interview when she was thanking us a bunch, and like even when we posted it, like she was like thanking us as well
yeah,
too. Just all in all, I think it was just super good vibes, and that was really, really cool. And that's honestly, that's not something you see from a lot of people that do like
no,
interviews and stuff. You don't see a
mhm.
lot of translators doing stuff like that. It's hard with the time zones, the language barrier, all that stuff. But we were able to do it. We made it work, and I definitely
See,
respect it and appreciate you.
that's why that's why I connected with you, bro. Because you took that chance. You like you said, nobody is doing it, you know. And then you saw one of my tweets, and you're like, "Hey, I want to do it, Spanish speaker. You know, I want to do it." You jumped on the opportunity, and you know, it's you're the man. You're the man.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, man. I mean, I saw it. I mean, you put out a tweet, you wanted bare knuckle to reach out. You got the bare knuckle hat on. I've been seeing you doing bare
Yes,
knuckle guys. They're gonna take notice, man. Like I said, it's just gonna give it a couple months, but I really think bare knuckle's gonna notice. And like I said, I think you have a lot of big things in store. Just stay at it, man. And like I said, any way I can help you with questions, your channel, I always got your back. You know what I mean? So just hit me up
yes,
anytime.
sir. I appreciate it. Thank you very much, man. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and let you go. It's the holidays. I'm pretty sure you want to go hang out with your family, get some grub on, and once again, I am Mr. Saturn. Normally I would say this is BKFC interviews, but it's just let's say right off the fly, Crazy Kev and Mr. Saturn interview.
There we go. I love it. I love it,
All
man. Thank
right,
you so
buddy.
much for having me on, man. I really
My
appreciate it.
pleasure,
And
dude.
like I said, however I can help you, just shoot me a message. And thank you for taking the time to talk to me again.
You got it. Thanks, buddy. I'll see you.
Yes, sir. All right, take care.
All right, bud.